I bet you don't even realize what's going on around you right now. I bet you don't even know that you're at war, that your republic is being warred upon right now, the Republic of America. I bet you don't even know that each of the states are sovereign. I bet you don't know that 1781, the Articles of Confederation, lasted for till about 1789, when the new Constitution was enacted in order to enact commerce or to safeguard commerce, and that the Congress had no power to control the money supply, the printing of money, unanimously in the states of the Union. And so to cause that to happen, they created the new Constitution, the District of Columbia in 1789, 1790, and 1791, and so on. Why? At one time, the states were independent. They were independent, each one of them. They kept their sovereignty. They wanted to keep their sovereignty so that the people would be in power with a representative form of government. That is not what you have today. I bet you didn't realize what's actually taking place when the feds are moving in on your soil, into the soil of each and every individual state, in the name of some type of tyranny or some type of chaos or disorder, order out of chaos. I bet you just thought that the federal government's coming in to help because the states couldn't do it for themselves. Howbeit the states have been doing it all this time by themselves, with their own national guards and things like that, in their own independent sovereign nation. Whenever the federal government encroaches upon the individual sovereignty of a nation, state, they never leave. They take over. That's how you form a dictatorship. When federal government makes secret compacts and contracts with big organizations like Amazon, Uline, Foxconn, and all of the other large corporations, that's known as fascism. Big business meets big government, and the people always lose. That's fascism. That leads to communism. I bet you didn't know that we've been in a fascist state since 1789, since 1790, when the people said, we see what the government has created and what has derived from this new constitution, this new commercial aspect of a federal government, and a new seat of government that was formed in what you know as Washington, D.C. And when the people saw what the government was trying to do, usurping all this authority and power, buying up all the debt and selling it to rich bankers and elitists, when they saw that that was happening and they clamored, and the people with one voice spoke and said, we need more protection against big government and big fascist corporations who are squeezing out the mom and pop shops, the brick and mortars, and small businesses. We need more protection. I bet you didn't know that once the people with one voice spoke as such, that's when they got the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. But no, you're too busy watching sports and reruns at that, since they already shut down the sports arenas and the sports realm for this pandemic. So now you're just gaming all day because you don't know your history. You don't know that we're being taken over from within right now. I just watched live on YouTube a great patriot being taken down by tyranny, shot through the hand. They tried to hit her in the chest and they missed, and shot her through the hand as she's vying for protecting the republic. And now I check into the story and they're calling her insane. I bet you don't realize that they're coming for your sanity too. And they're going to name you as being insane. I bet you didn't know that. Because you don't really know what's going on around you, do you? You don't know that this is order out of chaos, that they're trying to simulate and create the proverbial purge scenario from the movie The Purge. That's literally happening right now. You got Black Lives Matter, Antifa. You got Republican versus Democrat. You got all kinds of things going on right now. You don't think that this is planned, order out of chaos, that they're just trying to destabilize everything at this particular time? Follow the money. Who's making movements when all this is going on? Feds. They're slowly encroaching upon the individual sovereignty of the nation states. Every time something kicks off, from this point on, you're going to start seeing movements. Look at Trump is announcing that he's ready to release the feds into Chicago. Mass shooting all of a sudden. That's the perfect excuse for federal government to encroach and move into the nation states to usurp their sovereignty. The governor saying there's no way we're going to allow Trump and his feds to move in here and terrorize the citizens. You need to listen to the Lightfoot. I think her name is Lightfoot. That's exactly what's happening. She called it. People better wake up. And I mean yesterday. And I'm calling it. If we don't, 2 months. Watch what I tell you. 2 months, you're going to have the second wave of this so-called pandemic. You're going to have to ask permission to go places. This is the last call. I'm done talking. You better wake up. You better start researching. No one's saying go crazy or do anything stupid. But you have a mandate. You've enjoyed freedoms for this long. And you've only enjoyed these freedoms and these liberties because people have died for them. Someone has stood against tyranny. I'm just telling you right now, as I've said many times before, I've been sounding the alarm since at least 2015. I've been called a fearmonger, a conspiracy theorist. How's that looking for you now? You better wake up and realize that all this destabilization that you're seeing, who's making moves right now while this is happening? They're still pumping that this is the greatest nation. They're still pumping that it's the greatest economy and all that kind of thing when 40 million Americans are out of work. I have a very close friend who works many years in the medical industry in one of the larger hospitals who got inside information because they've been working from home since this pandemic has come out. And of course, everybody's wondering when they're going to go back to work instead of working remotely from home. Well, guess what? They're not going back to work. Am I saying that they lost their job? No, they didn't lose their job. They're still working from home. But everyone's looking for some sort of some semblance of normalcy to return. It's not coming. Listen to me. It's not coming back. You're about to understand and experience a totalitarian style government. I don't care about your Republican Democrat stance because that no longer matters. And you're about to see that within the next couple of months here. So I've said enough. I've done enough data entry into Facebook and all these platforms. I've said my piece. That's up to you. It's up to us individually now, and hopefully collectively. We better do something, and we better do something now. That's all I'm saying. So I had to get this off. But do you know what's going on right now? The same thing that's been televised and been broadcast concerning the Middle East. Same exact thing. It's destabilization, and then the troops move in, and federal government establishes themselves a new base, etc., etc. Isn't that strikingly similar to what's going on in the nation states, the United States right now? Destabilization, federal government moves in, they set up their base. taking the private sector away from the people. That's what's going on. Did you know? Yes, history is repeating itself. This is the New Deal Part 3. Believe it or not, it's here and it's happening. And it's going to move very quickly from this day forward. You're going to see some strange things that you never thought you would see on American soil in the next coming months here. And it's already began. You are in the middle of the new Civil War right now. Call me what you will. I put it out there. What did you do when the Republic fell?